Hey, welcome back everybody to the Functional Times. Michael Cornett here today, joined with Jarod and Yancy from Decca Fit. Got some fun new things going on, exciting new things going on down, especially in the Florida area, but expanded hopefully across the country here soon. Decca Strong. So you guys know about Decca Fit by now. If you don't, check out the website. You know about a little bit about the Decca Mile, which I want to touch on today. But today is all about the Decca Strong event or system, I should say. So I'll let these guys get into it in a minute. But first of all, how are you guys today?
We're doing great, man.
Good day to be alive, man. It's been fun watching your little movement growth over there on Instagram. And I remember when we first made contact, Jarod and I talk about it often. We appreciate all your support, and it's been fun watching your consistency, man. I mean, I don't know who you were 6 months ago, but I lean on you for getting the latest and greatest info on so much about functional fitness. So, and I have clients that do the same thing now. So good work, guys.
Yeah, Michael, I'll add to that. I mean, we've been talking about this since day one. I mean, if we're going to impact lives through fitness, we all have to combine forces. We all have to be in this together. I don't believe in competition anymore. You know, the competition right now is the pandemic. Even though I think we had a pandemic before COVID, you know, with obesity and the health of our country and the world. But we need guys like you to keep us informed. You unite so many genres of fitness, even though the focus is on functional fitness. I mean, there's also that group out there, you know, the CrossFits, just the OCR racing community. We all have to unite on this. We have to serve, you know, and we have to educate, and we have to inspire people to get healthier, whether that's in the gym or outside the gym. And you're one of those guys that's blazing the trail for us. So thanks a lot.
I appreciate it, guys. I promise I didn't pay them to come on and say that, but I'll take it. And I really do. It means a lot. So yeah, just my whole goal was to help, like you guys said, kind of unite from one perspective. You know, if you're going to ESPN, you got baseball, you got football, you got basketball, you got all these different sports, and to some extent maybe a little bit of OCR, maybe a little bit of CrossFit, but I just didn't feel like there was really much out there that was covering that could go more in depth, not just talking about the mainstream events, but the masters side, the adaptive side, these new events like Decca Fit. And so I really wanted to concentrate on that genre. But enough about that. Enough about the me and the functional times. Let's talk about Decca Fit. So before we get into Decca Strong, you guys had the event down in Jacksonville, the Decca Mile. Looked awesome. Hated I couldn't make it. It was really due to, for me, the pandemic. I got 2 young kids, so traveling anywhere right now is tough. Family are trying to stay apart and social distances. Our family's older. How was that event? It looked awesome.
I tell you, the buzz that was created in Florida, partly because of the Jacksonville event and the activations that we'll talk about in the gyms. I would say we'd be hard pressed to find the ability to have that go off better than it could have, considering everything that's going on. There was so much excitement that day, and you gotta keep in mind that our product, our brand, is an indoor competition, and the fact that it was 90 plus degrees and 90+% humidity, and people still enjoyed it so much. Hearing from the Spartan crowd how much they enjoyed doing that, but more importantly, I think the fact that people came out to a Spartan race because of Decca Fit, because they love functional fitness, they love that type of competition. The fact that we got to touch the lives of a large percentage of the people that came out, they activated inside their gyms first. They competed, and this gets Joe all excited. They actually did, in a way, a Spartan race inside their gym before that Decca Mile. And they got to enjoy competing, testing and training with a purpose inside their gym. doing Decca Strong. And then as Jarod and I like to say, hey, periodically we come and you get to actually compete at this big event. And that was our first kind of big event in Jacksonville. So it went very, very well. It was just so stinking exciting to see the people just geeked up about doing something that they love. And that's functional fitness.
Yeah, I'll add to that, Michael, is, one of the things that we were looking at doing, especially when we were in Denver, getting ready for the big Decca Fit event. Yancy and I visited so many gyms and met so many fitness professionals in that area. And, while we were there, we're thinking about ways, how do we bring Decca Fit to the gym instead of them just training for the event and having to travel for that. And so we started really getting the gears rolling, especially with all the closures. When we postponed Denver, it's like, what are we going to do now? Because we've been just prepping for an event the whole time, a big event, a big Super Bowl fitness event. And now we have an opportunity to shift and recalibrate our business. And we started playing with different programming formats, Decca Strong, which is basically Decca Fit, all 10 functional training zones minus the running, but a way to test, a way to gamify, a way to celebrate your fitness. And then the Decca Mile, that just so happened to come out of a couple of meetings with gym owners that were putting together 6 foot or 6 week Decca Fit virtual challenges, and a way to conclude the event, hopefully with their gym being opening, was doing the Decca Mile with a smaller footprint. And so Jacksonville, we jumped on the coattails of Spartan. Obviously, they were already planning on coming to Jacksonville, and we hopped on those coattails, and we had the perfect space for the Decca Mile. So that was our first launch. Like Yancy said, ideally it's not outdoors, it's not in the humid heat, but it's in an indoor controlled environment, and people know what to expect. But I'll tell you what, it was amazing. We got our customer service scores back from it, and even though we were challenged not only by the humidity, but we were also challenged by thunderstorms, we had an awesome ranking, and it was just really cool to see that. But I think what Yancy and I geeked out about the most is our Decca Strong road tour up and down the Florida coastline. That's where we as coaches got geeked out. That's where we got to go in, coach, and collaborate with gym owners, fitness professionals, and all their members, and get back to the trenches, so to speak, and what we love to do, and that's be in the gym firing people up.
Michael, you got to – I'm going to add one thing to that real quick. Yeah. This is extremely important for the message here. We, as fans or as athletes, and this is very, very, very important, most competition, we all love either watching or competing, but in most cases – professional sports, college sports, even CrossFit, the actual decathlon and track and field, even participatory sports like triathlons and running events. So much of what we know about that is because we've been a spectator in the stands or in our living room. And not because we necessarily want to be the spectator. That's how we enjoy those sports, because we that's at a level, that's the cyborg level, the 1%ers. Well, here's the key message with everything we do at Decca Fit. Can't stress this enough. We are for the 99%ers. Our competition, no matter what we lay out, is for the 99%ers. And the 1%ers can join as well and still have an epic competition. And I hope we have time to dive into it today, because Jarod and I want to share some very specific stories that happened with those 99%ers testing inside their second home, which is their gym. And we cried multiple times, great, amazing tears because of what we saw happen in there. And we'll all agree, we're decent athletes here on this Zoom here, but we fall in the 99%, as do most people walking the planet. We love competition, but it's like these heroes up here, these 1%ers, This is for everybody walking the planet.
So let's dive into those stories in 1 second. But before we do that, let's talk more specifics about the Decca Strong program. So that way everybody understands more what we're talking about before we get into these stories. So break down for us. We know that Decca Fit's got 10 fitness zones. It's got running in between, but the Decca Strong is an event. Do we call it an event? Do we call it a training program? How do you guys even structure it? And then what specifically is left out or changed in the gym environment?
You know, tackle this one together. We'll tackle this one together, JC.
Yeah. I guess my definition of it is it's an opportunity to gamify, test, and celebrate your fitness. For years I've had people come to me, say, I want to lose weight, I want to feel better, I want to get stronger, I want to prepare for an event, whatever it is. And it's just, it's never been strong enough, for people to sustain that type of living and that lifestyle. And when I say that, it's not been enough. They haven't found their purpose, and they haven't found that inner athlete within them. And I think with Decca Strong, if I get a new client and they come in through my doors, we say, hey, we're going to take you through what we call a Decca Strong assessment. And we're going to put you all through all 10 training zones, and we're going to time you. And I want you to go at it as comfortable as you would like, or as fast as you would like. Okay. And, you explain all the movements, and when they get done, they have their Decca Strong mark. Okay. But the beauty of this is now I get to sit down. Let's say I did this with you, Michael. We went through the test, and then I sit down with you, and now we can have a conversation and engage with one another. Instead of me just as a coach telling you what you got to do to get better, I get to ask you a couple of questions. I get to ask you, what zones did you struggle the most in? Where do you think you need to improve upon, or what do you need to improve upon the most? And you could jokingly say, which zones did you absolutely hate? And again, it depends on how fast you went through that test. But the bottom line is, now we've got an opportunity in the next 30 to 45 days to test again. I've got an opportunity to potentially sell personal training, okay, to help you prepare for that next test. But I'm giving you a target now that you've never had before that I think is more powerful than weight loss. So if you want to lose 15 pounds, 20 pounds, whatever, hey, that stuff's going to happen as we prepare for your next Decca Strong mark. So it becomes a really good tool for achieving all those other generic objectives that most people come in for. But now I have a target. I have a scoreboard to shoot for. And I guarantee you, if they come in between 8 to 12 times in that first 30 days, they're going to beat that mark. And that's going to validate your training. It's going to validate why they came to you in the first place. And people are going to have fun with it. It's going to motivate them. It's going to inspire them. And the other fact, the other data to all of this is it's going to create consistency and exercise adherence, because the data shows that if you don't show up in your gym 8 to 12 times in the first 30 days, you have a 65% or higher chance of quitting your membership in the next 2 to 3 months. This gamifies it to a level that gets people motivated and inspired to stay on track, especially in those critical first 30 days.
So now you've got them tested. Now they have the opportunity to retest. Now the three of us own a gym. We're a Decca Strong affiliate. And once a week or once a month, we have a kind of open gym testing night. Thursday nights, everybody come in. Once a quarter, and again, I'm just spitballing ideas here, we get to decide how we want to do this as an affiliate. But once a quarter, we do a competition where it's actually a full day of testing and competing with purpose. And now we're talking about member retention, generating leads. Our 200 members are inviting people in that aren't a member of the gym right now coming in, keeping in mind that we put very specific focus when we designed the zones. Jared and I beat this back and forth for several months until we were very comfortable with what we say rudimentary movement standards You know, we love all the testing that's out there. Take Murph and take all the stuff that people do. 99% of people walking the planet cannot even come close to finishing these tests. With the movement standards that we have, with the zones we have, the barrier of entry is almost completely shoved out of the way. Our 200 members, no matter who they decide to bring in with them, they haven't even been involved in fitness in 10 years. Guess what? 99+% of them are going to earn their mark the day Susie and Joe bring them into our gym to test once a month, once a quarter. And you know darn good and well that that's going to turn into, number one, that's going to build the family. Outside of that gym, you have communication going on from your members. Your members don't even know it, but they've turned into a coaching role. They're now being a coach, getting people to come in, earn their mark, and now, because we collaborated together, our gym, we collaborated with Spartan and Decca Fit, that family right there on the spot improved the fitness culture. We got somebody to walk in that gym door that has not, they haven't been comfortable. And one of the stories, I'll go ahead and tell one to kick this off. One of the coolest stories was when we were in some of these big gyms, and there's 40 people there, and about 30 of them said that I'm excited to test. Well, 10 of them are like, I just want to come watch John and Susie test. And all of a sudden you see some of those 10 going over. They see John and Susie going through, and they're testing, and you see them marking their name up on the whiteboard, signing up like, I'm ready to test now, coach. I'm going to test. It's one of the greatest feelings, man, and people finishing that mark because they realized as they were watching it and they're talking to their friends after they finished, like, you can do this. It's going to take you maybe twice as long as it took me, but you can do this. It's very, very powerful.
You know, Michael, I'll add one to that because it always reminds me of just these stops inside the gym. And again, man, like right now, I'll tell you what, just to get off on a tangent for a second, like I just heard gyms in Miami are closing down tomorrow again. And it breaks my heart, man, because these guys, these men and women, these fit pros from all over the world are trying so hard to keep their doors open and keep the flame alive for people so that they can live healthier lives. And doing things like what we're doing and combining forces, we can't impact the lives without one another. We all have to be in this together. And the things that we saw when we were in Florida, you know, Yancy's mentioned those people that doubted themselves, that didn't want to test or plan on testing, that ended up testing. And we had just gotten done with a gym the day before that was, you know, like what Yancy calls cyborgs, all those crazy top 1%ers. And it was one of the most competitive gyms I've ever been in. It was just amazing. Then the next night, we're in another gym for 5 hours, testing people, having a great time, feeling the energy. And there was one individual in particular that stands out in my mind that was the last one to test. And that person, okay, we had times anywhere from 14 minutes all the way to this gentleman who finished in 55 minutes. And the 55-minute participant was the most inspiring participant as far as I'm concerned. By far. And when he was finishing his RAM burpees, he was at like rep number 7, because I've been doing this for a while. I told the gym manager, I said, look, you got to go over there. You got to get in that pit with them and watch what's happening, because there's something magical that's about to happen in your gym that you will never forget, this crowd will never forget, and he certainly will never forget. And man, when he finished that 20th burpee on minute 55, he placed the RAM down, okay? Everybody else slams it down when they finish their 20th. He placed it down. He got his glasses back on straight, and he lifted his arms, and the place just freaking erupted. And then you got Yancy and I crying like two little babies in the corner because it was just so magical. And that is why we're doing this, man. And we're not doing this for any other reason, because we're passionate and purposeful about changing lives. And for that one moment, we got to witness that.
Incredible story, Jarod. That's really cool. And I know that that's what you guys hope to see across the country as gyms hopefully open back up, as these events or you guys are able to hold these Super Bowl events, but not just that, in more of these Decca Strong events. So let's talk a little bit of logistics. You guys have been in Florida, and can I ask, how did you guys get started in Florida?
Well, that was all Spartan, you know, seeing a window of opportunity. Jacksonville at the time, okay. You know, they had the UFC event. It just, the doors were open there at that particular time. Obviously, things have changed since we left there, but we already had relationships in Florida. So, you know, we had Slash Fitness down in Southern Florida. They had been on our licensing roster since day one. They were putting together their own Decca Fit mile event after their 6-week challenge. So our plan was, let's go down to Jacksonville. Let's meet more of the gym owners. Let's create some awareness. Let's get them involved in the Jacksonville event. And then let's continue our tour up and down the coast of Florida. And we were able to do that. And man, just every single gym that we went into had a special story.
Michael, let me add to that. So some of the behind the scenes stuff that's going on as we speak. Every day, Jarod and I have Zoom onboarding Decca Strong affiliate calls where we have one or multiple gym owners and in some cases their coaches and trainers on the calls where we are affiliating as we speak, taking them through, you know, we would love to be there speaking to them in person, but just where we're at right now, we have to do it Zoom call. That's the process. And where we're walking them through the process, making sure that they are, for lack of better terms, they meet our standards. It's very important that the gym owners and the coaches and trainers speak the language, and it's happening as we speak. There are people that, you know, they have the equipment for 7 or 8 zones. They have to order a few pieces of equipment, maybe tanks and rams and whatnot. And now they're activating, and we have gyms all over the country getting ready to start implementing the testing and plugging their gym member scores into our leaderboards. That is happening as we speak.
Okay, so if you're a member at a gym or you own a gym out there and you want to get involved, you want to host a Decca Strong, or you want to get involved as an affiliate, how do you do so?
You know, right now you get on our website and you submit your gym. We contact you. We give you a consultation first. So I've had a lot of great conversations with fitness professionals all over the country about this. And we walk them through what the benefits are, you know, and we have 2 different levels now of affiliation. We have a free license, and we're still giving business support because my background, Michael, you know, I've got 30 years living inside of the fitness industry. As a gym owner, I've worked for big companies. I live with a gym owner and see the battles that she faces every single day. And I still coach fitness entrepreneurs all over the country. And really what we want out of this, what we want to provide is authentic business support. Okay, we want to give them an opportunity to add revenue. We know that most gym owners are struggling with marketing. I mean, we know a lot of people got involved in this because of their passion and purpose for training and fitness and positively impacting lives. But all of a sudden they realize, dang, this is a business. This is hard. You know, there's a lot of things I didn't know about it. And so what we're doing is creating this network of people that can help one another and share their best practices. And every couple of weeks, we're giving some type of business support call. We just did something on online challenges. We set them up with a text messaging program. That's just one example of many that we offer now. But we want, you know, each one of our affiliates to be able to hang on to their gym members as long as possible. And we feel like what we're providing through our programming is going to motivate and inspire these clients of theirs to stay longer, because that's what it's all about. And right now it's hard out in the gym world to go get new members with all of this going on. So every single member you have right now is gold. And what we have to do is we have to teach them in many ways how to enhance that culture, how to engage more with their members. And we're trying to give them the resources to do that. and then give them a whole nother list of benefits, like equipment discounts and so on. We want to provide value, and we want them to feel that they are no longer on an island by themselves, that they have somebody that's got their back, not just with Decca Fit, but the whole network behind us.
So simply, if I'm interested, I'm a member at a gym, either I talk to the owner, or maybe I can even submit information for you guys to reach out to my owner at Decca.fit.
Absolutely. Yep. Okay. They're gonna get a personal phone call pretty quickly.
Good. And then if I'm somebody that is at an affiliate, a Decca Strong affiliate, I can check and see where my mark stands against other affiliates across the country right now.
Oh yeah. You're going to have the ability to see where you stand on the global leaderboard, in your age group, for example. And you're going to be able to, the gym owner can easily filter their gym, have a constant display of all of our members where they stand, and be able to pull analytics on, year over year. Okay, Susie, you improved 19% over the past 12 months, your score. So many different ways to gamify. I have fun with the crazy fun programming side of it. I have about 50 packaged competitions and testing, unique ways to test, I should say, for all levels. The Decca Strong testing inside your brick and mortar fitness facility will always be there. But let's say September rolls around and it's going to be partner month, where you're going to be able to team with somebody and divide those 10 zones up between the two of you. You pick your favorite 5, I pick my favorite 5. The next month we do the Decca Strong double, where the meters, the calories, and the reps are doubled. Just let your imagination roll. We're able to provide a lot. So as a gym owner, that is gold. I know it very well. Jarod knows it even more than me. All of our time in a gym, when you have the ability to kick something like that out there, we have 400 members, and this whole month we're testing with a teammate. We have male, female, and then mixed gender testing, partner test. Just the gamification of that is amazing. And then we have the ability, for the very high levels, for the 1%ers in the gyms, you have the gym awards, where you take your top 5 male and female marks, and those mesh together to create your team average, the gym average that's up on the leaderboards. With just a little bit, with kindergarten level creativity, you can let your imagination run about how fun we can have with the gamification of this.
So you're saying there too that there's actually gym versus gym type competitions with the top 5 athletes from each gym?
Oh yeah, there's, that's not for everybody, but some of these gyms they're gonna dig that, and you're gonna have, what that does is, for some of your high levels, are you, maybe you're number 6, and there's that awesome competition. Like, dude, I'm gonna try to knock you off to get to that 5th spot. Again, that's not what we're all about. We created Decca Fit for the 99%ers to be able to show the improvement, and it really all boils down to the foundation is training and testing with purpose, and really loving on and caring for from the gym owner up here and all the members down here.
So right now, is there I'm thinking about if gyms are closing down again, especially across the country, is there any Decca programming right now for body weight, to kind of modifications of the Decca Fit event that's currently out there?
Yeah, we're in the process. As soon as we finish here, we're jumping on a call. We have some really fun news we're going to be announcing soon. Don't want to give too many details, but some really awesome virtual challenges. Let's put it that way. That'll be very, very Decca Fit focused, keeping in mind that they're unlimited levels. There are thousands of gyms all over the country where people are working out in as we speak, with a little bit of backpedaling in certain pockets, but thousands of people are back to their gym in certain ways.
Yeah, I think overall too, Michael, what we're trying to do is, one, again, we want to connect with the gym world. We want to take care of those gym owners, the studio owners, the club owners, all genres of fitness. We can't be a divided industry, especially now. And this is one way to connect that. And, you know, there's been some big brands that have tried to infiltrate the fitness industry, but they haven't done it authentically. And, you know, when Yancy talks about us onboarding new affiliates, is because we want them, one, to feel that our support is authentic. And number two, we want to make sure that they maximize their potential with Decca Strong by providing the correct messaging and the way to phrase it. Because it only takes one team member to maybe mess it up. And I think that's what a lot of the big companies haven't done in the past. And this is our way to say, hey, you know, you're our brother, our sister, we're in this with you. We speak the language, and we may not have all the answers, but we know somebody else in our network that can help you. So number one, we want to help the gym owner with that. Number two is we want to create a client journey. Okay, so Decca Strong is the beginning of that client journey. You get assessed, you get your Decca Strong mark, you develop a training plan for that client or that member. They retest in 30 to 45 days. They crush it. They feel that sense of accomplishment. Then you prepare them for their next challenge, which would be the Decca Mile, which includes 160 meters of running in between each zone. So that's taking it to the next step. And then, you know, you can participate in our Super Bowl of Fitness event. So there's three ways of participating: Decca Strong, Decca Mile, and the Decca Fit event. And again, I look at Decca Fit as, yes, it's a crazy ass test in an unbelievable venue, but also it's a way to celebrate all that time that you've been putting in the gym, and you're going to get rewarded by the experience of it. And
so
then, go ahead.
This is very important to add to that. I'm going to use Isaiah Vidal as an example. I was from a coaching perspective, I was very excited to see that high level of an athlete, one of the top functional fitness athletes on the planet, arguably, come in and test. And his first words, I had the wonderful opportunity to coach Isaiah for about 4 years. I don't coach him right now, but I did. So I know Isaiah well. And I'm not going to name specific competitions that he's done out there. He's like, Yancy, because of the length of Decca Mile, and because it was just turn my brain off and just go as hard as I could go. That was one of the hardest things I have ever done in competition. Keeping in mind that the movements are ridiculously simple on purpose, 100% by design. This is coming from an athlete that has done everything out there in the world of functional fitness. From high-level CrossFit, one of the greatest Spartan athletes of all time, right there, one of the top 3 athletes in the High Rocks world. He's done so much. And for him to say that was, you know, on the same field of play where several hundred people that are just kind of toying with fitness and aren't in the greatest of shape had a phenomenal experience. One of the greatest, most well-rounded functional fit athletes on the planet said it's one of the hardest things he's ever done in his whole life. And when Chris Henshaw, taking what I just said for the past 2 minutes, when Chris Henshaw tells Jarod and I that I've picked this apart and I've been in this world for longer than Jarod and I have been in this world of fitness and coaching, and says, I'm extremely impressed with how you pieced it together to create a competition where the standards are identical. I take Decca Strong, the standards are identical in that gym facility, if you're doing Decca Mile or Decca Strong, and everybody can come together and test. And it's applicable to every single human walking the planet that tests that day. From the beginner to the Isaiahs and everybody in between, extremely applicable. And it's a mark that we can compare across the board. And when we truly say that it's for the other 99%, we don't have to exaggerate at all. That's exactly, we had a 99% completion rate, approximately 400 people tested total. When you combine all the gyms and Jacksonville, we had 3 people that didn't quite earn their mark. They were close. They didn't earn their mark. I think that's actually a good thing because now if in their gym, it's like, hey, we got to work on these 3 stations, you know, and we'll get there. You will eventually earn your mark. But we had 99% completion So Jacksonville was Florida was a wonderful a true vetting process of everything we have.
Yeah, and one more. Don't tell Joe DeSena I said this, Michael, but I interviewed his kids after they did the Decca Fit mile, right? And they said it was harder than a Spartan and shorter.
Now, I know Joe put up a pretty good time, but didn't his son, like a 14-year-old son, beat his time?
He would have been the Jacksonville Decca Mile. Jack DeSena would have been 7th or 8th, I believe. Overall, he's 14 years old. He is a cyborg. He's one of the best wrestlers in Vermont and in Boston, depending on where he's wrestling. He's amazingly talented, but he has a phenomenal work ethic, and he went out there and hit it hard. Joe had tested the day before at Trinity Fitness Southside and posted a very strong mark. I like to make it crystal clear that I beat him by a minute and a half, but he ran a mid 17, which anything sub 20 is a pretty darn strong mark. Sub 18 was really we didn't see a whole lot of sub 18s. But Joe ran a mid 17, which was he did it barefoot. He'd given his shoes away the day before while in Orlando working with an inner city group, and so he did it barefoot. And so, yeah, but his son posted a phenomenal mark in that the Jacksonville Decca Mile.
So somehow those kids got faster after every zone. I don't know what it was, but they were incredible to watch.
Yeah, they knew that they were closing in on Pops, and they wanted to knock him off the pedestal. I could see that.
Yeah, I did hear he did bet them $500 before the race.
There you go.
I don't know if the money exchanged hands, but they got him. 2 of his sons beat him.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's cool to see a family all participate in the fitness like that. I know I've probably mentioned it before, but so my oldest son is 7, and he's just started doing some fitness things and kind of following along with what his mom and I do. And it's really cool to see that as a dad, to see, and I think that you can instill that in kids, right? They're going to mimic what you do, not necessarily what you say. So if fitness is a big part of your life and you want to have your family stay healthy, and get out there and model it for your kids, and I think that they'll follow along. So it's cool to see. Now I want to rotate real quick because we're kind of getting short on time. To the next actual Decca Fit events, whether they're the full-on Decca Fit. I want to ask about that. And I know that you guys have mentioned the Decca Mile, if I'm not mistaken, possibly 2 locations in Florida. So first, Decca Fit, the Super Bowl of events, as you guys call it. Do we have any indication that an event will go down in 2020?
We do. We just haven't received confirmation yet. I mean, what a lot of, and I think most people do realize this, but a lot of people don't realize how difficult it is to navigate the situation we're all in. We don't know what the next 24 hours is going to look like. We don't know what the next 2 weeks is going to look like. And, for Decca Fit to be the full scale event inside of a venue, we don't even know how many people we can have in there and how we manage the event just yet. I mean, in Jacksonville, it was outdoors. We had the Decca Mile course that allowed us to follow all the different guidelines and restrictions that go along with, putting together a safe environment for all of the race participants. So we're still navigating through all that. But right now, we're looking at Palm Beaches, Florida in October. We're also looking at Destin to be part of the games there in November.
So those are both Decca Mile events, though, correct?
Those are Decca Fit events.
Decca Fit events. So we're talking about an inside facility or an outside facility?
Yeah, we're looking at indoors. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, the Emerald Coast Games would be a collaboration with 3 or 4 other fitness events going on. That one could be Decca Mile or Decca Fit, but West Palm Beach for sure, if it happens, will be the Decca Fit. I want to add that the event that you're asking about, when's the next one going to happen? It happened last night at the Endurance Factory with Kim Peluso's gym. Four people tested their Decca Strong last night in his gym, one of our affiliates. The next event will probably happen today or tomorrow at one of our affiliates. That's how we look at it. We could have a Decca Fit event inside a nice facility once a month, and it pales in comparison to the sheer ability to train and test inside these fitness facilities. The amount of testing that can happen and that will happen, that's happening as we speak, is just pure magic when you ask me, because you know, I may have said it earlier, but as a coach and a trainer, there's nothing better. It's arguably the number one reason why I like getting the opportunity to train professional college athletes and high school athletes sometimes, because they are just training for a very specific thing. And it makes the conversation in that hour-long session wonderful, because there's a lot of specific purpose why I'm having you do this. Here, the why. I love, as a coach and a trainer, you know, coaching large group for 15 years, huge groups. The fact that I get to have a conversation with you about some of the why we're doing this, you know, it might just be 2 minutes of that hour, but I get to constantly go back to, guess what we're going to do in a couple more months, Susie? Guess what we're going to do? And guess whose mark is going to improve? So Susie has something to put on her calendar at Ken's gym, or the Slash gym, or Pearson Fitness, or wherever. That's what gives me crazy chills, because I've worked with large groups of the 99%ers for so many years, and that is a beautiful thing.
All right, so last question as far as the Decca mark goes. If somebody like myself that is not part of an affiliate gym wanted to earn my Decca Strong mark, is it possible? And if so, how would I do that?
Get a day pass. Go get a day pass at Pearson Fitness, Endurance Factory, Slash Fitness.
Okay.
You know, Susie's going to invite you in, and you're going to get a day pass, and you're going to earn your Decca Strong mark inside their gym.
So how do I know what gyms then are Decca Strong gyms?
That's what we're going to do going forward. You know, we just launched last week, but all of our Decca Strong affiliates are going to be listed on our Gym Finder page on our website. And so you'll know where you can get tested. In fact, what we're also going to do is when that gym hosts a Decca Strong event, you know, that it goes beyond just testing 1 to 5 individuals, we're actually going to market that for the gym. We're going to let that community know that some type of Decca Fit related program is coming to your area, and this is where to go. So it could be, you know, like Slash Fitness. They had 25% of the people who participated at their gym in the Decca Mile event come from other gyms. You know, so it was an opportunity for them to experience Decca Fit, and they all achieved their mark, and some of them did really well. You know, it's in fact, you probably know who Logan Bernhardt is. He ended up being the winner of their Decca Mile. He came from Jacksonville. So it's just, again, man, it's just a way to unite and support all the hardworking gym owners that are out there, and it's just you know, hopefully a very valuable tool for them to utilize. So that they can maximize their business performance.
Definitely. Yeah. And I'm looking forward to getting my Decca mark, whether that's the mile, the strong, the Decca Fit. I got to see where I'm stacking up. I gotta make sure I at least beat Joe, right? If nothing else, just beat Joe.
Yeah. You want to beat Joe. In fact, when Joe got his mark,
no.
Yeah, he didn't want anybody to beat his mark that night when he was in there, but the gym manager did. So
if I'm coaching Joe, I'm going to have Joe do the first taper he's ever done in his entire life. We're going to take 2 days off, which he's probably never taken. He never takes 2 hours off. We're going to take 2 days off. We're going to go in, and Joe could probably pull a minute off his time if we gave him some shoes and we tapered into the big event.
Yeah, I could see that. He's got to leave a kettlebell in the car or something like that.
Yeah.
He actually didn't even know what he was like. He would get done with one zone. He goes, "Where do I go next?"
What do I do?
Hey, point him in the direction. I'm sure. What's his saying? Ready, shoot, aim, or something like that.
And he whispers a cuss word at me every time. I've been around him 3 times when he's doing Spartan Ram burpees. And as you know, Decca Zone 10 is Spartan Ram burpees. He's like, why in the hell did I let you talk me into these?
If a burpee wasn't bad enough, just add a Spartan Ram to it, right?
JC, I got something if you got about 35 seconds, I have something pretty magical that we could close out with. I do want Jarod to take 30 seconds to tell his Robin story. And after that, I'm going to show a video. I can just show it on my phone. It'll project pretty well, of the Matt story that actually happened at Trinity Fitness Southside. I'm sorry.
You can send me the video, and I can put it in with the actual podcast in this video as well.
Okay.
Yeah. You can show it here, but we'll attach it as well.
Okay, great.
Jarod, go ahead.
Well, I guess the cool thing about, we go from one gym to the other, and we're testing everybody on their Decca Strong marks. And what we found is certain members would gym hop. They would find out where we were going 2 days later, 3 days later, and they'd be like, I want to retest, and we would just crack up. We'd just like, gosh, man, some of these people are getting possessed. And it didn't matter what level they were. They didn't care if they got a 25-minute mark, but they started gym hopping. And so we would see some of these familiar faces. And again, they started feeling like family while we were in Florida. And there was a gal that came in from a gym that was tested a couple of days prior. And she said, I'm ready to go. Will you time me and count my reps? I said, yeah, let's go. Let's beat our mark that we got the other day. And when it was all said and done, man, she beat it by 90 seconds. Okay. Now, obviously she went into it a little bit differently, strategically and so forth, but she came from that really competitive gym, and she didn't feel like her mark was good enough. And when she switched to that other gym, she just wanted to mark off the time. And she said, tell me what my time was. And I gave her time, and she acknowledged that she knocked 90 seconds off. But as soon as she realized she knocked off that much time, man, she literally started screaming, jumped into my arms, okay, and just was like, yes, like, I did it. And that was one of quite a few, because we even had somebody beat their Decca mark their Decca Strong mark by 5 minutes a couple of days later. I mean, it kept happening, man. And it was like, this is why we do what we do. This is why we're all in this together. And if we can get the whole fitness industry and the community behind this, and understand the magic that can happen by just putting up that mark, some great things are going to happen. And so, Yancy, I'll go ahead with that awesome video.
Okay, this is Matt. Jarod told the story of Matt. Hang on one second. Baby, is there? Okay. All right, here. This is Matt. This is Matt at Trinity Fitness. Just like all Spartan race tradition, we stay until the last one clears the course. I'm probably going to cry again. This is Matt, our last one. Come on, Matt! Trinity Fitness! Come on, Matt!
That's awesome. So that's the story that you were telling earlier for people that can't see the video right now. The last few ram burpees, and he just sets the ram down, fixes his glasses, fist pumps in the air. So that'll get you fired up on it, guys.
It still hits me right here, and I got goosebumps.
I fell in love with Matt because he set it down. Most people just they just throw it down. He graciously sets it down, fixes his glasses, and just gives the fist pump. And dude, there was not a dry eye in the room.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Hey, here's what I told our number one guy. Our guy Ryan. He did a 14:07. I said that 55-minute guy is way tougher than you. I mean, if he could go that long doing this, man, it was just awesome to see all the different levels, man.
Yeah.
Guys, great job. Enjoy following y'all's progress and seeing you guys evolve as a company. is awesome. So keep up the work. Keep us posted. Let us know about these events coming up. Let us know about the leaderboards, the gym finder. If you guys will send us the information, I'll make sure it gets up on the website as well, so that people can find people like me. I want to go get my Decca Strong mark. So as soon as I figure out some gyms nearby, maybe I can figure out a way to get over there and do that. If not, hope to see you guys there in Florida soon, and events hopefully across the U.S. sooner rather than later.
Thanks, Michael.
Absolutely, man. Thank you so much for the support, brother. I love, like I said, love what you're doing.
Thanks, guys. Have a good day.
Take care, bye.